Oh, we got Jason. What's up, Jason?
What's up, Grant? First time, long time. How are you, pal?
Man, I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. No sleep tonight. Daughter was up at 4, and she was just up the entire time. But hey, we working. What's up?
So you were partying. What'd you guys do? You read some stories?
I actually was watching some Trey Lance film.
I hope you didn't make her sit through that.
No, I didn't make her sit through it. It would have probably put her to sleep. But
there you go.
But yeah. So I guess that's the question that I wanted to start with, right? So the Zach Wilson video comes out today, right? And that's just going to fan the flames of everybody who has been after him, right? And look, I like that kid. I think he's really good. Something about Trey Lance though is pretty good. Tell me what you think.
What do I think about Trey Lance? Mm-hmm. I think he's one hell of a runner, man. Mm-hmm. He's fast. He's physical. He would instantly be one of the best running quarterbacks in the league. And he's got a nice arm too. He can throw the ball down the field. I think he's the kind of quarterback that, like, honestly, John Gruden would love. I think Gruden would take him in round 1. You saw what he did with Mariota that one time Mariota played. That's what Gruden wants his offense to look like. He's a run-first guy. I think he'd love a quarterback who runs around that much. I don't know if he's exactly what Kyle's looking for. I think Kyle is actually a lot more conservative and old school with his quarterback taste than people want to admit. But for Gruden, I think that's kind of the guy he's looking for. To me, think he's a project. And if you draft him, you got to be committed to developing him.
See, that was going to lead into my next point. So I know, cover your ears, 49ers fans. I have a prediction on January 6th. I think we see Jimmy back with this team, and I think we see them try to take Trey Lance or something like that and have him sit behind.
I see. Kind of like what the Chiefs did when they kept Alex Smith one last year and got Mahomes right around that. They got him at 10. The Niners are at 12. Hey,
correct. That's what I think. Honestly, not based on nothing really. Just based on just the way that I see this draft shaking out right now. Like, you're looking at Zach Wilson potentially being at 2. Justin Fields, if he does anything anywhere near competent this week against Alabama, that's going to keep his stock where it's at. So I think that if the 49ers are looking for somebody like that, I think that they do take a shot, like almost like you said with Smith and Mahomes. So, I know that there's not a lot of film on Lance, but what I like was some of those deep throws. And then what I really started to imagine was Debo with a jet sweep, RPO, and who has the ball. Now those linebackers who have to sit there and wait to figure out where the ball is. Now you have a third option of where the quarterback might keep it, and that could open some things up. So I'm just right now, January 6th, I'm just spitballing right now because I feel like those top 3 guys are going to be out of the 49ers range unless they do something drastic.
Only thing I'm saying about with Lance, I think if they draft him, they have to bring back Jimmy because he can't play right away. This team is too good. You can't give it to Lance. And then what I would say is, I think that when people look at him, they're like, well, he might be the next Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. I think that's lofty expectations because Allen is kind of one of 100. But even if he is Allen struggled his rookie year. His quarterback rating was in the 60s. He went through growing pains, and they could afford that in Buffalo because that was a rebuilding team. The Niners can't afford to do that with any quarterback next year. So again, if it is Lance, that he's got to sit. And maybe they can bring him in certain packages the way that the Saints do with Taysom Hill.
Yeah, and
I would help the running game.
I would love Matthew Stafford. I'm just, that's a, like I see that in the comments. I would love Matthew Stafford. I just don't know how realistic that is, right? Like when I'm telling you, like my prediction here is not because I think that this is what they should do. I just think that when all the cards shake out after free agency and after draft, this just might be the hand that they're dealt, right? Like, that like all of these guys might not be available. It takes 2 to trade, right? Like, so you're assuming the Lions want to move on from Stafford. You're assuming, right? That's what I mean. Like, so,
and you're assuming that if they want to move on, that they would see the Niners having the best package available when Carolina would probably want them and other teams that have higher picks.
Right, exactly. And then one last thing before I go, because I know this is flooded up, right? Am I the only one who's really freaking out about the Peters thing more than the coordinators leaving and everything? Because I don't think D'Amico's back. I think D'Amico follows Saleh. And then Peters, him leaving, that scares me more than probably any of those guys because of the way he evaluates, right? Like, there's a reason that guys are shaking up their organizations, right? Denver promotes Elway to like almost like open it up for Peters. Like, that's a little bit like more scary for me because he went and he scouted Wilson. If he ends up in Carolina, they're going to draft him, right?
Yes. Yeah. I think the thing with Adam Peters is his reputation is based on like the day 3 picks. His diamonds in the rough that he's discovered because he's gotten like a grip of them. But his draft record earlier on is I don't think is necessarily better than the next guy. So I don't know. I think the Niners actually could survive without Adam Peters. It would hurt. I mean, it would hurt to lose him and Ryans and Saleh and LaFleur and McDaniel all in the same offseason. That's a big deal. But I don't know if I'll put him at the top of the list of people that they're going to miss. You see what I'm saying? I mean, his draft record isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think it's he has the reputation because, you know, the Kittle Warner thing, right?
No doubt.
And then those the first rounders,
and that's legit.
Right, it is. And then the first rounders, you know, obviously we all know we can go through the list. And yeah, we can, you know, so that's Bosa's like the only one, right? Like, you know, Saleh, all those other, and Ayuk and Kinlaw, you know, but I mean, it's just like for the most part, the record isn't sterling.
Real quick, what I wanted to tell you is tomorrow I'm bringing a dude on the show. I don't know if
I heard you.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be interesting.
All right,
this was the Dak guy and the Mahomes guy. I didn't know of a Dak guy before this guy. I mean, everyone was like doing the Goff Wentz argument. He was adamant from October on. It's Dak. I was like, no.
But you remember though, right? Like Bucky didn't want to bring Dak back, right? Because the DUI, right? The optics, right? That whole team had DUI and all those issues and everything. So it was bad optics. Even though the charges were dismissed, to draft somebody on top of everything that was happening in that.
It's sure they couldn't do it.
Right.
But this guy actually has a good track record, unlike all the guys who are paid to do it for a living on like The Athletic and the ESPN. Those guys have ultimate job security and they never get it right. I can't believe it. Anyway.
Dude, the last thing I'll say before I go, don't listen to mock drafts in January. Just reevaluate them in March and see how quickly they change. Grant, thank you, bro. We'll talk, man.
Talk to you soon, man.